Hi Pisces, welcome to your mid-October 2018 tarot reading. It's Raina, and I won't say it's Raina here because people keep thinking I'm saying it's raining here, but it's not. If it was raining that much, we'd have a flood by now. So what I'm doing here until I can put some magic marker. Oh, that's cool, magic marker. On one of my tarot cards. I'll show you the back. It has like a chip in it. I'm not going to look for the one that actually has it, but now that I know what card it is, it's the Ten of Wands. I don't want to avoid it, and I don't want to pick it, because either one of those is going to hamper the reading. So I'm just shuffling behind the camera and then not looking as I pick various cards. That's the only way I know how to do this, so that it's, you know, kosher. And this is the Wild Unknown deck, in case you were wondering, and I love the pen and ink drawing so much. Boy, I've been getting that Eight of Cups so much. Very interesting. And you have all minor arcana cards, which can be nice because it means that maybe it won't be an eventful month in terms of, or last half of the month I should say, in terms of major changes, but perhaps it'll be internal stuff that you're doing. So the heart of the matter is represented by the Four of Wands. This is really a positive card. This relates to a new home, a new marriage, or a happy union. And union, it could be just two people that are sharing their life together in a very intimate way. And this could be like a fire sign individual. So we could be talking about a Sagittarius especially. This is a person that you tend to go for. You're both mutable signs, or Leo or Aries. What's interesting about Leo and Aries for Pisces, if you're interested in fire signs, is that sometimes the fire sign person will be more dominant, and with the Sagittarian, you both might share an interest in spirituality, and there might be like more of an equal relationship. So it's a very, let's put it this way, it's a very positive card. And let me talk about the past tense that is informing this present situation. The Ten of Pentacles is a very positive card. Isn't that a cool? I love the circular color scheme here. But this is the Ten of Pentacles that relates to family wealth, and it's the inheritance card. So perhaps you received an inheritance and therefore were able to purchase a home with the money, or some kind of assistance from your family, or you have just become wealthy, wealthy being a relative word, because of your own efforts, because actually you've had a lot of good stuff happening in that 10th house of career. You had Saturn in there for a few years, and that's very helpful for solidifying a career. And now you're going to have Jupiter in that house when it goes into Sagittarius in November. So you're just kind of on a winning streak in a lot of ways, Pisces. And hopefully this has happened to many of you in various ways. But the Ten of Pentacles can be some kind of material affluence. And just with that Four of Wands, it could be like enough to buy a house or have, yeah, I would say like, it's especially a new home, but you can take from it what you will. It could even be just on the emotional level that you feel more financially secure, so that makes your home life feel a lot better. And the card that represents the outer influences is represented by the Six of Wands. Yeah, this is a card of receiving your recognition. And, you know, it's interesting that they use a butterfly here, because the butterfly represents transformation. And the wands represent the creative and, well, you could say creative impulses that lead to creative output of different types. So whether it's having your own business, that's a form of creativity. You know, being an entrepreneur is a form of creativity, or painting a picture, or singing a song, writing a poem. But just in whatever your career of choice is, it may not be an artistic career, but there's a sense of the personal, you know, self-expression that the wands represent. And in this case, really kind of taking your bow. And for Pisces, I think it's a beautiful card, because it allows you, this success allows you to kind of blossom into that butterfly, and indicates that transformation. Maybe you felt insecure before, and you have grown in whatever it is that you're doing. What crosses you is, it's funny, another butterfly. Is represented by the Two of Pentacles. I would be curious, because these are different suits. One is Wands with the Six of Wands, and this is the Two of Pentacles, and yet they're both using the butterfly theme. And so I don't know if I would be able to find out about that, because I'm trying to figure out what they're going after, the artist. But the Two of Pentacles is a card of perhaps a lot of stuff going on in your life, a juggling act. Actually, in the Rider-Waite Pamela Coleman version of the Two of Pentacles, they show like a juggler juggling two pentacles. And that can mean having two jobs. That can mean having different, whatchamacallits, different responsibilities. Like maybe one of the things that you're doing isn't a job, but it's a practical kind of a, I wouldn't say a chore, but a responsibility. So you're taking care of an elderly parent and you're working during the day. Maybe you have, maybe you are moonlighting. And the Six of Wands is that sense of feeling like you're being honored for whatever it is that you're doing that is on your own. Maybe it isn't your day job that you're getting this recognition. Maybe it's a side gig. And the beautiful thing about that is that you can pay all your bills and still fulfill that sense of yourself as an artist, for instance. But with the Two of Pentacles in the challenged position, or a challenging position, it can be that you're spreading yourself too thin, that these two occupations, if you will, are competing against one another. Maybe you're not getting enough sleep. Maybe you thought you could juggle the two things and you can't. Now, if this is a romantic situation where you're seeing two different people, it's possible that one of them is an earth sign or has that wealth that the Ten of Pentacles represents, so a Capricorn type of person, and that person offers you security, but the fire sign person offers you more pizzazz, more excitement, maybe more of a creative I was going to say soulmate. I don't mean that. Comrade. You know, somebody who you meet at at open mic night, and you really both are on the same page when it comes to, you're both artists, or you consider yourself artists, and yet artists tend to not be like the Ten of Pentacles, at least when they're starting out. So there may be this temptation, if you're provided a comfortable life, not to leave the gravy train. And I'm not trying to paint you as some kind of a gold digger. I was talking about the terminology of gold digger to me in another person's or another sign's video. But the whole point is that sometimes Pisces is a sign that's associated with dependency. But dependency meaning passivity. It's really not a bad word. We just make it into bad things. Meaning that you are capable and willing to assume that role where somebody else has control of the purse strings, that you're able to do that. Not everybody is able to do that. And this is because you have a very trusting nature and you assume the best in all people. And so this is something that may make you gravitate towards somebody who can be a good foil to you and be like that rock, that stability that the Pentacles really represent. You know, another possibility is a Taurus person, or, you know, of course, your opposite sign is Virgo. The advice is represented by the Five of Pentacles. So here we have more pentacles, but you see this rose is drooping. So you can see it's almost like a tear, that petal that is drooping. So even if you don't know what the Five of Pentacles represents, you at least know that it probably is something that's challenging. The Five of Pentacles, to me, is best summed up as poverty consciousness, lack consciousness. And I like to characterize it that way because although there can be people who really have financial difficulties with that Five of Pentacles, it can also be very easily someone who thinks too much about the material and always feels like they come up short. And basically, with the Five of Pentacles, the person may be too focused on the material for some reason. Sometimes this can be the way that they were raised. If they were raised with not enough resources and they saw their parents fighting about money and have, you know, and real struggles about money, it can kind of stay in their psyche, and they can vow, maybe not even on a conscious level, that they're never going to go through something like that. And as a result, they can place undue importance on the material side of life. And let me see if I can find, I've been doing this lately, finding the Rider-Waite card that corresponds with this, because it's so vividly illustrated. You might be asking, well, why didn't you just use the Rider-Waite version? And the reason is because I'm missing a card from it. It seems like that always happens where I miss cards, and I think it's the same card. I think it's the Seven of Cups, so that just goes to show I think the universe is trying to tell me I need to get more organized. Okay, so this is the Rider-Waite version of the Five of Pentacles, and you can see that these people are down and out. They're dressed in rags. One person is disabled, you know, using crutches, and there behind them is a stained glass window with the Five of Pentacles. Now, I'm looking right now and I'm noticing, I don't know if you can see that, above the top pentacle, there's another thing there. I don't know if that's like a pot that, you know, is holding leaves. I can't really tell. But the color yellow is, you know, the same color as gold. So we can associate it with wealth, material well-being. But it's also the third chakra in the chakra system. It's connected to the color yellow, power. Manipura, is that it? And it's in the solar plexus region. And money is connected to this chakra. That shouldn't surprise anyone, although I don't know about the first chakra, which is survival. I would think money would be there, but no, money is connected to power. And when you don't have money, you feel disempowered. So it makes a lot of sense that people feel more comfortable when they have money because they feel like they have more options in life. The people depicted on this Five of Pentacles, they don't seem like they have many options. They're hunched over. They look like they are the Walking Dead almost, emaciated in one case. But behind them is that stained glass window. So they're kind of like they're not looking at the stained glass window. They're kind of like just focused on their own misery. And this is to suggest that perhaps you've been focusing too much on the material and focusing on lack instead of looking at the spiritual and putting things more into perspective. And this can simply be, I mean, you have like some wonderful cards here, but you may still have a lurking kind of a fear of the other shoe dropping. And this is so typical with a sign like Pisces because there's always like this, I don't know if you call it, I mean, maybe it is kind of pessimism, where all these good things are happening, the Ten of Pentacles, the Four of Wands, and the Six of Wands, and you say, okay, now it's going to get really bad. Something bad is about to happen because all these good things are happening. And I could totally see somebody like a Pisces person thinking that. And that's a form of poverty consciousness. It's like expecting that something bad is going to happen, that calamity is right around the corner, even if it's not. So do not look, because this is advice. So this is asking you to look at your attitudes. This is not a predictive card of like, oh yeah, you're going to have this happen to you. And the outcome, the Eight of Cups, which I keep getting over and over again, leaving what no longer serves you, and this is an emotionally driven card, so leaving something that does not feel fulfilling. If you are trying to juggle two different things, it may be time that you let go of one of those things if the conditions are right. Maybe you have all kinds of money saved up, and this is saying, why are you crying poor when you have the money to do what you want to do? I mean, what is money for? Is money to just collect in the bank? Or is it to be utilized in the best way possible? So if you're staying in a position, a job, that doesn't feel harmonious to your spirit, that could be, or doesn't feel like it aligns with your ethics even, that could be what the Eight of Cups is talking about, that you're searching for more fulfillment. The other thing that you may be doing, if you're doing two different things, may be more in alignment with where you're at. But you may say, I can't pay the bills on that thing. Well, maybe you can. Maybe you're crying poor. You have the Ten of Pentacles. So it's trying to show you have affluence. You have the Four of Wands. You may have a comfortable home. Maybe you just bought a new home. So why are you crying poor? Are you deliberately trying to put obstacles in your way because you don't believe you deserve to bloom into that butterfly? That you don't really feel that this transformation is real because it just feels like a dream to you. Maybe you're more used to suffering. And it's not as outlandish as someone might think, this concept of rejecting the accolades of others. It can feel downright uncomfortable if you're not used to it. If you're used to criticism instead of praise, don't think that, you know, you could think in your fantasy, oh, if only I were getting praise, I would feel so much more confident. No, it can be very triggering, challenging, because it forces you to change your narrative about life. And that can be almost like a slap in the face. If you have had proof from the day you were born that the world was against you, and all of a sudden people started praising you and saying how great you are, and you know what a great job you've been doing, that can feel confusing, threatening, and ultimately forcing you to let go of your story. And this could be your story of lack of, and the lack could be not only financial, but in terms of other people's assessment of you, and therefore your assessment of yourself. So you have to challenge yourself, Pisces, to allow yourself to receive praise from others, and to really believe that you're deserving of it, because you are. Okay, well, I hope that you enjoyed this, and if you'd like a personal reading, the link to my website is below. It's RenaMoonAstrology.com. Take care. Bye.